A girl who had been missing for 11 years suddenly appeared in the small town, her face ashen, and she collapsed to the ground shortly after. The girl's name was Alice. 11 years earlier, on her way home, a van suddenly pulled over. In just a few seconds, Alice lost consciousness and lay in the back of the van, never to be heard from again. In the ambulance, she kept repeating her name, Alice. Based on this information, the police found her mother, Emma, who burst into tears of joy when she learned her daughter had returned. She immediately shared the shocking news with her husband, and the family rushed to the hospital. The girl in the hospital bed had a pale face, and they could barely recognize her as their daughter. Sam noticed the tattoo on her arm, which confirmed it was Alice. He had scolded her severely back then for getting the tattoo secretly. In the middle of the night, Alice regained consciousness. Seeing her family standing by the bed, her expression became elusive. The next day, Alice told the police about her abduction. When she spoke of the abuse she had endured over the years, her father could no longer bear it and walked out of the room, holding back his grief. The investigators did not stop questioning. They pressed her about Sophie, another missing girl who had been abducted by the same yellow van. Alice looked distraught as she admitted that the two of them had been imprisoned in the same place all these years. She had tried to take Sophie with her when she escaped, but Sophie was too weak to walk and was presumably no longer alive. The police immediately launched a large-scale search in the forest based on the escape route Alice described, but ultimately found nothing. At that moment, the nurse brought another shocking discovery to Sam and his wife. Alice had stretch marks, indicating she had given birth to a child. Thinking about the suffering their daughter had endured, the couple hugged each other in sorrow. A week later, Alice was discharged from the hospital and returned home. Gemma tried to ask about the child, but Alice insisted she had never given birth. Gemma was filled with doubts. Why was her daughter denying this? After her parents left the room, Alice kept twirling her fingers, and a strange smile crossed her face. Late at night, Gemma went to check if Alice was asleep, only to have her heart shattered into pieces. After years of imprisonment, Alice was no longer accustomed to a comfortable environment and had chosen to sleep on the cold floor. Overwhelmed with emotions, Gemma returned to her own room and flipped through photos of the children when they were young. A strange thought crossed her mind. Her daughter felt like a stranger. When she noticed that even Alice's walking posture had changed, her doubts deepened, and she told Sam. But Sam brushed it off, saying Alice had been through so much suffering over the years, and some changes were only natural. Just then, the doorbell rang. It was Lucas, the police officer in charge of Sophie's missing case. Having learned that Alice and Sophie had been imprisoned together, he had come specifically to ask about Sophie's condition. During the questioning, Alice's answers were full of inconsistency.